Dylan and I have two kids, Aiden who's 8 and Alex who's 14. When Aiden was 4.5, we tried to put him into preschool. The director there said, listen, something's not right. He can't get along with other kids. He's fixating on things for hours at a time. So we had him evaluated and his diagnosis came back with autism spectrum disorder, OCD, mood disorder, and anxiety disorder. So that was a lot to swallow. It was unbelievably crushing, I think, for both of us. And we thought, what is this kid going to be? What is he going to do for the rest of his life? How is he going to survive? How is he going to be a successful member of society?
After they gave us the diagnosis, they said he's going to have to be on medication his whole life. This is a lifelong situation for him.
It just became part of our vernacular to explain to him, yes, you're different because you have autism, but it doesn't make you any better or worse than anyone else. You have gifts through it and you have also challenges through it. Sometimes he'll use it as an excuse though. I cannot eat this broccoli because I have autism. Broccoli can't be eaten. So, when Aiden's happy, he's happy. And when he's not happy, he is not happy. So he can wake up in the best mood ever and be laughing and joking with you, and then 10 minutes later, it can be downhill and he can be screaming and banging his head on the floor because he got syrup on his hand. Those kind of wild mood swings are what we deal with on a daily basis. It can be violent and it's unexpected, and you have no idea how to control it when it begins. My oldest son plays high school football. So we're at the very first football game of the season on Friday, and Aiden finds a hose and he decides that he's going to spray all of the managers and the coaches and the players down with water. We're always having an eye out for him, right? But you're also trying to watch and participate in your older son's life. It was 5 minutes we had looked away right before we were leaving, and that's what went down. Not only is it embarrassing, but it's also on top of that, people cannot wrap their head around it, and so there's so much judgment. Walking out, 3 different parents stop me and want to scream at me about how horrible my kid is. And I'm like, if these people could walk a day in my shoes and had any idea what autism actually was and looked like, I don't think they could survive.
Aiden can present as a very typical child a lot of the times. I'd say probably most of the time now that he's on some medication, but there are times that he can go ballistic. He can go from 0 to 60. He can get violent for really no reason. He might throw a rock at you or hit you over the head with a frying pan just because he wants to, because he's upset about something.
But I knew at that point that I needed help and that we needed help as a family and we needed to try to figure it out. So I put on my brave face and went to the first mobilizing families class. You don't realize at the time that you start down this path that it's actually going to have a lot of bumps and a lot of potholes, and you're going to need the ARC and you're going to need people that you meet in mobilizing families for the rest of your life. When Aiden started having issues at school, the ARC was the first place I thought to call.
Aiden's been in 4 or 5 different schools, so we were at the point of getting an attorney to help us with our rights, and with the help of the ARC, we were able to avoid that whole ugly, nasty process. Whenever we're having issues with Aiden, we may not even know what'll come up next. Our first call is always to the ARC because they're connected, they know what to do, they know who to call to get us the results we need, who to set the meeting up with, what we need to say, how we need to say things.
Throughout our whole experience with Aiden, the ARC has been, the place we turn to when we have no idea what else to do. As it turns out, every single time we've called the ARC when we've been in some sort of moment of crisis, they have always led us down the right path. And so now I know that they're going to be there with us every step of the way through Aiden's adulthood. I know that we can count on the ARC to help us.